It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time, oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time, oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Project 2025 would dismantle democracy as we know it.
He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, no, other than day one.
Is a vision of implementing a startlingly authoritarian form of the U.S. government.
Same thing with the unions. They get their little 5%. They get another 2%. They get another 3%, 4%. Then all of a sudden they're making more money than the people that own the company.
Do you do larger cuts, corporate cuts?
Yeah, I was planning on doing it. In fact,
You believe in punishment for abortion, yes or no, as a principle?
there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
What's at stake here is democracy itself. It's now Donald Trump's party, and if he's elected, the consequences will be catastrophic.
such a flagrant, toxic narcissist that he wants to take down the entire democratic system with him if he goes.
And I didn't need little Bruce Springsteen and all of these.
Are you surprised that he's trash talking you after all this time?
Not really.
Yeah.
Anything's possible. The stewardship of the nation has been thrown away to somebody who doesn't have a clue as to what that means.
Bruce Springsteen, we have a much bigger crowd than Bruce Springsteen, right? Much bigger. Hillary got Bruce Springsteen, I'll never forget. And the place was pretty full. Not full like our places are full, and I don't have a guitar.
It was okay. It was so worth it. There is no one you would rather go to a Springsteen concert in Jersey with than him. Than that guy. Brooks.
For me, the transformational piece of music was Bruce Springsteen's The River.
Okay.
Which is a journey. You know all the tracks.
Yeah.
And I'm that guy.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. Hello, everybody. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Sorry about this. Sorry about being kind of late. Hopefully you guys can hear me. If you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Hopefully everything's working. Let me double check here. Let's see here. Let me switch glasses. Let's see here. Okay, mic is on. I'm kind of running a little late. I still got something going on. I got like a sore throat. I almost wasn't going to do the show because of this darn throat, but maybe this orange juice will help. We'll see. Cheers, everybody. All right, good morning. Good morning. Good to see everybody here. We got, well, I think Roxanne was first in today again. Let me turn on the chat filter. Go to all messages. Yeah, I do see Roxanne over here. First in the chat. Good morning to everybody. Ask is here. Will Hal be back? Maybe this is it. Hal was on earlier this morning. Did you see that? Hal was already on, and now we're doing the after show hangout right here. Trying to hang out. I see Jolie's here. Josh, Good to see Josh. Kevin Hawthorne in the driver's lounge from Lakeland, Florida. Yep. Hot, sticky, steamy Lakeland, Florida. And let's see, Tim Nelson here, one of our resident Tims, is in the driver's lounge. Aaron West, good to see Aaron. Isolda Zinn, hello, Isolda. Good to see you. Nick Rich is here. Good day. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share, because who would want to miss all of this beautifulness? Hey, Mike H is here, otherwise known as Joel. Good to see Mike. Let's see. Sorry about the coughing. I might not be able to go too long. I don't know today. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Josh says, how many people have rent-free in his head? I don't know. And I guess that's it. Ginger's here. Ginger's mom's here. Hello, Ginger's mom. Good to see you. Says, I missed it as I was napping from Long Island, New York. There must be something going around all around the country. It seems like everybody is sick. You know what I mean? Seems like everybody has a cold or something going on. And as do I, apparently. I'm thinking about just wearing a mask. I'm sick of these passengers. I think, because in case you guys don't know, I'm an Uber driver, and I think the goddamn passengers are getting me sick. So I think I'm just going to start masking up as I drive. And if anyone doesn't like it, then tough shit. Let's see. Mr. Spock's here. Hey, Mr. Spock. Live long and prosper. Let's see. One of these days I'll be able to do that. Nick Rich, what's the big event this week, John, in Vegas? Well, the big event, I don't know. Looks like they're setting up for a convention, some big convention at the convention center. I don't know. It's kind of this is when we kind of get into our slow time after Labor Day. Kind of slows down. They're starting to gear up for Formula One. They're starting to do some, the construction that they do along the strip and along the course, where they, they put up grandstands and all that kind of stuff. But that's not until November, the actual race. But between now and November, they're going to be, setting up for the race. But as far as big events this week, I don't know. I don't think there are any, really. Josh says, I have to take my neighbor to pick up new adoption dog today. Well, that's nice. That sounds like a nice thing to do. Hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to take a bite of toast. I didn't have breakfast yet, so I just made some toast real quick. Hopefully the mic is on. Hopefully you guys are hearing this mic, right? You're not hearing the mic on the phone, because if you're hearing air conditioning right now, that means that this mic's not working. So I do have a green light on though, so I think we're good. Hey William, good to see you. William's in the driver's lounge. Ginger can hear fine. Nick Rich, does the Sphere project commercials on the exterior? Yeah, they've been doing that since pretty much day one. They show ads, certain ads. They mix it in with just like, their videos and stuff. They mix them in. They do ads and they do promos. Things of this nature. Roxanne, John, you are good to go. All right. All right. No AC noise, says Josh. Okay, so that means that this microphone's working. So that's a good indicator. If you guys hear the AC or something like that, that means that this mic's not working or it's not on or whatever. But I think we're all on. Okay. So yeah, the Sphere shows they show ads and promos, and then they show just really cool, interesting videos and stuff. But they're all interesting. Even the ads and stuff, they do it in a way where it still is like not like an annoying commercial or something. Usually, Ginger's mom says, I would give my third born to see the Eagles in concert at the Sphere. Yeah, that's right. They're starting this month. I'm not sure the exact date. They're starting a residency sometime this month. A lot of people love the Eagles. I'm not really excited about the Eagles. I mean, I just think, oh God, there's some old band from the 70s, But I know they have a lot of great songs, a lot of great hits. And from my passengers, the very passengers that apparently are getting me sick, are also saying that they think the Eagles are great. And these are people that are younger than me, even. I mean, I was around during the time of the Eagles in the 70s when they, first came out with their big hits and stuff. And I've been I guess it's somewhat of an. I hate to say fan because people say, oh, fan is short for fanatic. And if you ever say you're a fan of something, then people will start grilling you about what's the third song on the third album that was, blah, 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 all this kind of bullshit. Okay, I'm not that much of a fan, but I mean, I've always liked the Eagles. I like their music and everything like that. But I'm a little bit over it now after 50-something years. So I don't get excited when I hear like the Eagles are coming. Now, I guess I am a bit of a hypocrite when it comes to that like for Springsteen. I've been a Springsteen fan, well, in full disclosure, not really until the mid-'80s, but even though he was around in the 70s, right? And when Springsteen came here in April, I was like, yeah, I gotta go. And I was really excited about it, and I'm glad I went because it was a great concert. But I'm not really excited about the Eagles. The Eagles don't excite me. But apparently, according to some of my passengers, they're really into the Eagles, and some people have even seen them play elsewhere, and they say it's a great concert. That they put on a great show, great concert. So, to each his own. I'm sure it'll be a great show. And they have a lot of great songs and great hits over the years. And of course, was it Glenn Fry? Glenn Fry, whatever. He's passed away a few years ago. They don't have him. I guess they brought in Vince Gill. Is it Vince Gill? The country western singer who was really, really big in the 90s. That dude was like on fire in the 90s. And I guess he's been brought in to play all the Glenn Fry parts and sing and the vocals and all that stuff. So, and I guess I'm assuming, is Joe Walsh going to be there? Or is it going to be the whole, because Joe Walsh was in the band for many years. Of course, Don Henley. So yeah, it should be a good show. But like I said, I'm not like, oh God, the Eagles! Oh my God! I just don't get excited about the Eagles. But I bet you if I went, I'd be probably going, this is a great fucking concert. You know what I mean? William says Don Henley lip syncs. I've heard that Don Henley is a real asshole. Although I did hear The Boys of Summer on the radio the other day, and I was like, this is a great fucking song. This is probably his best song ever, is The Boys of Summer. And I guess, and it just proves that great performers and great songwriters can still be assholes. It's just like Mike H. Well, there's nothing great about Mike H, so whatever. Let's see. Janelle Walker's here. Hey, Janelle, good to see you. Says the Big Lebowski in I fucking hated the Eagles. That's right. Isn't that the line? I fucking hate the Eagles or something. I don't hate the Eagles, by the way. Like I said, I think they've got a lot of great songs, and I'll sing along to them. But it just doesn't excite me. But I'm sure it's one of those things. If I went, I would be like, yeah. Ginger's mom says, took my 3 kids to the Eagles at MSG in 2020. We had a fabulous time. They know all their songs. I hope they know their songs. Oh, the kids like their songs. Okay. I guess their kids know all their songs. It was a fun, enjoyable time with my adult kids. Josh says, I honestly never knew that fan was short for fanatic. Why am I stumbling all of it? Why am I stuttering? I'm becoming Joe Biden before your eyes. My mind is blown. Poof. You didn't know that until just now? I just now taught you something? Well, mission accomplished. My job, my work here is done. Good day, everyone. See you next time. I have taught somebody something. Jupiter Judy's here. Good to see Jupiter Judy. I'm having a hard time speaking at the moment. Sorry about that. Let's see. Everyone's saying hello to everybody. Ginger's mom, Deacon Fry, who is Glenn's son, is with the band. Oh, okay. So Deacon's in there, but I'm pretty sure Vince Gill is in the band, and I was reading an article that I think he's doing all the Glenn Fry songs. You know. But I guess if I went to the actual concert, I would know for sure. Hey, Non-Useful's here. Good to see Non-Useful. Thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. Non-Useful says, I received my B12 flu and Pfizer booster Thursday. If you have zero insurance, the COVID-19 booster with Pfizer is $164. I should probably do that. I've never been one to getting flu vaccinations or whatever, but I think I'm at the age, or maybe I should maybe do that. And of course, COVID. Now, I can't remember my last booster. I think I've had all the boosters, but I think there's a new one coming out, right? And I should probably do the new booster, because I think I've had like 6 booster shots in addition to the original vaccine. Non-Useless says Thunder Road. Thunder Road is but Bruce Springsteen. That's not the Eagles. Vince Gill is not singing Thunder Road, as far as I know. Or Deacon Fry. Glenn Fry. It's pronounced Fry, right? Even though it looks like Frey. Janelle says hello to me. Hello, Janelle. Good to see you. Thanks for being here, by the way. Roxanne, well, that's like his opinion, man, Janelle Walker. Wait, what? Whose opinion what? Yeah, we all got opinions, just like assholes. We all got them. Mike H, why do you put me down? I think deep down you love me. Oh, well, I put you down because you know why. It's the trolling, Joel. It's the trolling. Mike, I don't know. It might be a love-hate relationship at this point. I don't know. It might be a love-hate relationship. Janelle says, I effing hate the Eagles, man. Laughing out loud. Janelle says, but I like the Eagles, though. Nick Rich says, we can't respect anyone that can vote for Don Old. That's why, Joel. That's why. Now, speaking of that, okay, look, this is a good segue. Speaking about passengers and speaking about Don Old, Trump, and all this kind of stuff. Okay, look, when I'm driving, it's not the Trucker John live stream in the car when I'm driving Uber. Okay, it's a very different experience. It's basically me just shooting the shit with people, and it's just kind of the same. But I don't talk politics. Okay, when I'm in the truck, in the car. Pretty much. I mean, unless very rarely has it come up and where someone wanted to talk politics, and I was like, okay, you want to do this? Let's do this. But the other night, I had a guy, and I think it was his wife. They were a couple, whatever it was. And, as we're talking, I know they were from Texas. And I thought he said he was from Austin, maybe. And I think, isn't Austin sort of like the one kind of blue area of Texas? I believe that's the state capital. I should know my capitals, right? And it's kind of blue. And so so I'm like, okay, these are probably Texas Democrats or something. I don't know. and the guy was a little tipsy. I could tell he'd been out, him and his wife having a good time, and he was a little tipsy, and he was just back in the back seat, just kind of rambling on about all kinds of stuff. But then he gets on the subject of, well, he started talking about healthcare and how other countries like England have healthcare, like national health system. And he said that's really great. He goes, and he's like, I wish we had that here. I wish we had. And I go, yeah, like Medicare for all. And he goes, yeah, he goes, that would be great. He goes, because so many people, they get a sickness, and if they don't have the coverage or whatever, they get wiped out financially. And I go, yeah, there's so much medical bankruptcies. It's crazy. So I'm kind of going along with it, but we're kind of teetering on this thing about politics in the car. And then I go, yeah, that would be great if we could get like a Medicare for all. And then he fucking out of left field, he goes, he's like, yeah, man. He's like, that's why we need Trump. And I about fucking shit my pants. I was like, what? Wait, I go, wait, whoa, wait a minute. He goes, yeah, that's why we need to get Trump in there. And I was like, I mean, I just was like blown away. And I'm like, you do know that Trump is not at all in favor of Medicare for all. In fact, he's accused people who, that promote that as being communists, not just socialists, but communists. And he's like, "Oh, really? I didn't know that." And I was like, I go, "Yeah, Trump is not your buddy here. He's not gonna be in favor of Medicare for all or any type of universal single-payer healthcare system. He just isn't." And then the wife was like, "Okay," she's like, "Okay, guys, okay, no politics." She kind of like shut the whole thing down. But I don't think we were going to get contentious. The guy was very nice, and he was, But she's like, she's like, don't she goes, don't talk politics. We don't talk politics. And I was like, okay. I go, okay, but I mean, I just didn't think that, you were a Trump supporter, And then he goes, well, we're fucked either way. And I think he was talking about, like whether it's Kamala or Trump. So he was kind of doing the both siderisms, like both sides are bad. And then I was like, well, no. I go, if you want Medicare for all, your vote should go to Kamala Harris. If you want to ever see any chance of that happening, you got to vote for Democrats, But the wife was like, okay, no politics. And but it just made me think, like, what do people know about just the candidates in general? What I genuinely think that the majority of people, they don't even know what Donald Trump is about, even though he was already the president for 4 years at one time, and he's been in. Now, raise a show of hands, people. Everybody who I bet you it's almost 100%. Everybody in this audience, I bet you, watches some sort of political. Not counting this show because this is like a dumb show, but like you watch some sort of a informative show about politics on a daily basis. And where they talk about Trump, they talk about Kamala Harris, they talk about the issues. You guys, by a show of hands, who watches at least once a day some type of show, whether it be House Sparks or even Rachel Maddow, or or even through social medias like Randy Rhodes and Tom Hartman, or Minus Touch people, whoever it is. Show of hands, who here who watches at least once a day? You watch something about politics, something that informs you about the issues and about the candidates. I bet you I bet you it's almost 100%. But I think that we in this audience are the exception to that. I think we are the weirdos in that sense. We are the not outcasts, but we are uh, in the minority as far as kind of being wonks about this. People don't know. I don't believe people really know who Donald Trump is. I don't think they know what a fucking scumbag he is. And I think they're just going off of he was on The Apprentice, and they might not even have watched the show. They might have just seen the promos for it, and the ads and stuff. And they knew he had a show, and he was popular on that. And then they knew he was president, but they didn't. But they didn't really. No one really. I bet you, out of the voting, out of the eligible voters in this country, I'm trying to put a percentage on it, but I bet you it's going to be an overwhelming majority don't even have any fucking clue as to what an awful person Donald Trump is. People think he's like this cool kind of, almost gangsta. He's almost like he's kind of gangsta. Because I had another passenger, and they were a black couple, and they said something about, I think they saw a Trump ad, or maybe they saw the Trump, because there's a Trump hotel here, and people see that name, and I think he was like, "Oh, Trump," Didn't really talk too much about politics, but I could just tell the way he said, "Oh, look, there's Trump. There's that Trump Tower," or whatever. That they were like into Trump. People are like into Trump. They think he's cool. They think he's this cool international businessman, big wheeler dealer, and that he, when he's in charge of the country, things get done. That's what they think. And it's almost the polar opposite, right? I mean, when he was in charge of the country went to shit. But they have this perception that he's this cool old gangster guy who's gonna take charge, kick ass, take names, And so I guess that's what you and I that's the job that we have ahead of us, is to get the word out, I guess, but whatever way we can, that Donald Trump is not your friend. Donald Trump is not cool. Donald Trump is not some take charge, kick ass dude. I don't know. Somehow we got to get the news out there that he's a vile, disgusting human being. But I guess without sounding like I don't know, too partisan or something. I don't know, because then I guess if you come on too strong about that, then people will say, "Oh, you're just a hater," and this is all, he's all being set up, he's being framed. The Democrats have weaponized the DOJ or whatever, and the mainstream media, they have it out for him, even though the mainstream media is in large part what brought us Donald Trump. The mainstream media is in large part responsible for giving us Donald Trump on the national spotlight here, and when he was running in 2015 and 16. But it's just crazy, and I see it all the time in my car. I see it all the time. Now, I haven't been watching the chat while I was doing my little thing here. I don't know what happened. If I didn't say hi, I apologize. It looks like I've got mountain bike fan in here. Michael McAndrews is here. Good to see Michael. I'm just scrolling back. Tamara Price. Oliver Brownlow. Just some names I didn't see earlier, maybe. Just to say hi. Big Hook. Big Hook is here. Good to see Big Hook. Let's see. Guys, I have to blow my nose. I hate doing this. I'm going to try to go as far off camera as I can. Here, maybe I should shut the mic off. I don't know. Guys, I know that's gross. I hate doing this kind of stuff on camera. I apologize. I guess I have some sort of cold going on. And I know this is not... Maybe you guys aren't even watching. Maybe you're just... Hopefully you're just doing some house cleaning and you've got the audio playing in the background and you're not watching the video part of it. That would be good. Hopefully I'm still on. Hopefully when I turn the mic on and off, it didn't do something. But anyhow, yeah. So we got Big Hook says America unfortunately plays the game of survivor, medical insurance, deny claims, and try to put cost of treatment in offering a service doesn't deliver fraud. Yeah, we have a really bad healthcare system, a health insurance issue. Josh says they just like that he isn't a career politician and assume that's better. Yeah, and they don't know. They don't. Apparently, they don't. Scott, sorry about that. It's like they don't even know anything about, the fraud. The campaign finance violations. They don't know anything about the rape, the adjudicated rape. The sexual assault. They don't know anything about all the other accusations of rape. They don't know. Apparently, they don't care about the Access Hollywood tape. About him grabbing, saying you can just go up and grab women by the pussy. Apparently, they either don't know about it or they don't care about it. They don't know about how he called Georgia officials there and tried to get them to just come up magically with 11,800 votes. Apparently, they don't know or they don't care. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. Coming from my point of view, and a lot of you, I think, probably share this point of view, that Donald Trump should be in prison and deserves to go to prison for all the things that he's done. And then to think there are people that think that he's cool. And like, was it Josh was saying, they just think that he's, he's like this outsider, non-politician, and that would be good. That's good, whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of people that could be outsiders, non-politicians. That doesn't mean they're good. Hey, Just Julie's here. Good to see Just Julie, by the way. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. Let's see. I'm just scrolling on down. Oliver Brownlow says, many don't understand how laws get passed. Many assume that the president has dictatorial royal powers and should be able to fix all problems almost instantly. Yeah, it's the old wave of the hand fallacy. Hal talks about that. I actually think he stole that from me. That's something that I talk about, the wave of the hand fallacy, that you can just make it so. I remember they were saying that back when Obama was president. People were complaining about Obama not getting enough stuff done. And that's when I started coming up with this wave of the hand fallacy, which I'm pretty sure Hal Sparks stole from me. I'm just kidding about stealing. But I was saying it back in the Obama era, when people were complaining about Obama not coming through on things. Well, you know what? Maybe you should have showed up in 2010 and instead of letting all the teabaggers win all the elections. Just saying. Maybe you should have showed up instead of letting the Republicans win and take back Congress and basically, obstruct everything that they could. Mountain Bike Fan says we try, but then they say just that we are haters and have an extreme agenda. Yeah, they won't. They don't want to listen to the truth. They don't want to hear the truth, and that's why this is really, I think, a really good thing that's happening with the case, not the Mershon case, but the other one, where the judge is hearing. Let's see, which case is she hearing? But she's not putting it off until after the election. She's like, "Fuck that! We're going forward. We're going through it now. They're going to start in October. Talk about October surprises. That trial is going to bring up. That's the Jack Smith one, right? Jack Smith and his team they're going to bring out so much evidence, and it's going to be. And this is when people are paying attention. This is when the people that aren't like us. This is when people start paying attention. Especially in October, right before the election. So this next trial that's coming up with Jack Smith, that should be on the fucking primetime news every fucking night. Everything that Jack Smith brings out. And I'm hoping that will wake some people up. That will expose Trump to some people as to how much of a criminal he is. So that's a big case that's coming up, and they're going to start it, I believe, in October, right before the election. And that judge, I forget her name, but she's not messing around. She's not messing around, and she's like, "Nope, we're proceeding." Hey, Tom Bias is here. Good to see Tom in the driver's lounge. Good to see you. It says, "Hey, TJ. Hey, everyone. Got to scrunch the weekend into today. We're aerating the greens tomorrow." All right. Yeah, get that done before fall kicks in. Nick Rich, is John passing gas? No. Are you? I was blowing my nose earlier. I don't know. So I don't know what you're talking about. Unless my mic's not working again. I don't know. And you're picking up the air conditioning. There was no fart. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Hey, Robert Perez is here. Good to see Robert. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. It says, "Top of the morning to you, Trucker John, and all you beautiful Democratic voters. Have a groovy day." Have a groovy day. I did not fart, by the way. There was no farting. I was blowing my nose. I'm just scrolling on down here. Okay, so Mike H., otherwise known as Troll, Joel the Troll, says Trump has policies, Harris doesn't. First of all, I think the only policies I've seen from Trump lately are Project 2025 or the he doesn't call it Project 47. What's he call it? Mandate 47 or whatever. Where basically he wants to become a dictator and put in all of his sycophants into all the government positions so that everyone just is loyal to him and does everything he wants. And he wants to become, president for life. Okay, if that's what you mean. Okay, yeah. So that's the Trump policies. Harris just the other day came out with a great plan that many economists are saying is a great idea about helping small businesses, because small businesses make up the majority of the businesses in this country, and are responsible for creating millions and millions of jobs. And Harris came out with a great plan the other day about giving tax breaks or tax credits of up to $50,000, raising it from $5,000 to $50,000, and laid out this whole great, beautiful plan about that. And even economists from the other side of the aisle, right, Republican or conservative economists, are saying these are great plans that she has, and that her economic policies that she's going to have. These economists have come out and said, and these are like Nobel-winning economists, and many of them, not, I don't know about the Nobels, what their political thing is, but there have been lots of like even right-wing conservative economists that have said that the economic policies of Kamala Harris will lead us further into prosperity, and it'll be a great economy under her. And then if Trump is elected, and under his policies of just these across the board tariffs and of ridiculous across the board 20% tariffs across the board, and whatever else he's got going, lowering taxes on the rich and all that kind of stuff, that it's going to lead to an economic crash. And that's what the experts are saying. So you want to talk about Trump has policies and Kamala Harris doesn't? Well, Joel the troll, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. And you wonder why I call you out. Well, it's because of stupid shit like that you say. But I'm glad you brought that up, because that is something that you hear about these independent people or undecided people. They'll say that. Like, we don't know what Kamala Harris is all about. She doesn't have any policies. Well, she does have policies. You just don't want to listen to them. You just don't want to listen. Nick Rich says Joel is delusional, completely in the dark. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Bonnie Agliata's here. Good to see you, Bonnie. Thanks for joining us in the driver's lounge. Good to see you. Mountain bike fan says, yes, I agree. I've been so disappointed when Democrats don't vote in the midterms. Please always vote. All elections matter. Yeah. Hey, Teresa TAK is here. Good to see Teresa. Thanks for joining us in the lounge here. The driver's lounge. Hey, Paul Sharkey Mannion's here from across the pond. Paul Sharkey Mannion says, howdy, TJ and truckers. Hope you all keeping calm. It alarms me when people over here are not pointing out that Trump is a crook. Yeah, he's a crook. He's a total crook, and we should not ever lose sight of that. Big Hook says, oh, what? Oh, so I guess something that Mike H. said. Mike H. Trump has no policies. About that. The Heritage Foundation has directives in Project 2025. Are you getting paid by Russia as well, or just a useful idiot? Head and ass is voluntary for you, I think. Yeah, so I'm just skipping down. I know I'm really behind here. Mountain bike fan says, I don't think Judge Merchan really thought that decision through. Trump is going to claim that the election was rigged and file cases, ask the judge to delay the sentencing for that shit again. Well, he's running out. Trump is running out of delays, I think. You can only delay for so long. And I do think Merchan thought it out. I think he did think it out. And I think that Merchan knows that Trump's going to lose. So why give Trump and his cronies and whatever, why give them that kind of ammo? Like, oh, see, you interfered with the election by sentencing me to jail or to prison and all that kind of stuff. So I think waiting until after, I think, is I think it's actually the wise thing to do. I know a lot of people don't like it. I think a lot of us in this chat and across the country have felt that Trump should have been in prison a long time ago, like years ago. So I know we're all kind of chomping at the bit for that day to finally come. But I think that in that sentencing on November 22nd or whatever it is, I think Merchan's going to be sending Trump to prison. And by then, that other case is going to be going on, the Jack Smith one, and where I think it's going to be very clear. It should be clear, very clear to the American people. You know, when Jack Smith presents all of his findings, all of his, evidence and everything, and that comes out. I'm hoping that will wake up a lot of people to what just a big criminal organization that the Trump organization is. Donald Trump is a big crook and deserves whatever punishments he gets. He deserves, to go to prison. Let's see. You got Robert Pierpont is here. Good to see Robert. We have a couple of Roberts. Let's see. I'm just kind of scrolling down in the chat here a little bit. Mike H., you can think that Trump's going to win all you want. And you know what? I mean, if you look at the polls, I mean, it is kind of close. Like, I don't think it should be even that close. I think Kamala Harris should be winning 80% to 20% or something. And it might just come to that. I mean, who knows? Because I think November is going to be really huge. And I think people keep forgetting about November. But I just don't see it. At least I can't see how he could win the popular vote. I guess there is still a pathway to the Electoral College. That's the thing we got to worry about. All these swing states and that goddamn Electoral College. That's the only way he's going to win. He's not going to win the popular vote. Okay? He lost to Hillary Clinton in the popular vote by 3 million votes. He lost to Joe Biden in the popular vote and, of course, the Electoral College. But he lost the popular vote by almost 8 million votes. I wouldn't be surprised if he loses to Kamala Harris. Well, if he loses by, I was going to say 15 million votes. If he loses by 15 million votes, I don't think there's any way that he could win the Electoral College. But I guess there is. There's always a path if you just win the right states and get the right, Electoral College votes. So that's the scary thing, is the goddamn Electoral College. And that's what we got to make sure that we don't let... that's the Russian involvement, and Trump can go. He can try to brush it off, Russia, all he wants. But it is true. There is a Russian influence campaign that has been going on since at least 2015, and that's another great story with Merrick Garland and bringing out indictments against these media outlets that have been propped up by Russia. And that's a great time. And I think that's great timing. Some people have been criticizing Merrick Garland for dragging his feet and that this should have been out a long time ago. I think this is perfect timing. This is right now. This is when people unlike us who are in this audience, but this is when the general public, the general voting electorate, this is when they start listening to this shit. This is when they actually start caring about the election, and so this is the perfect time for all this Merrick Garland and stuff coming out, these indictments about these propped up Russian, media sites that are on social platforms and and elsewhere, and this is perfect timing because this and so far we've just seen the tip of the iceberg with Tim Pool and these others. There's going to be so much coming out about the Russian involvement, and them putting out directives of you have to say how the economy is terrible and America is in decline. It's almost the same verbatim things that we hear Trump saying. I wonder why. I wonder why. Why is Trump saying these things? He's saying the same things that Putin is directing Tim Pool to say. Basically. So here's Mr. Spock says Joel must watch Tim Pool at 56 Minutes Rich. Yeah, Joel the Troll. A while back, I went into Pool's chat and tried to block his entire chat room, laughing out loud. Delta Dawn's here. Good to see you, Delta Dawn. Thanks for joining us today in the Driver's Lounge. As I am a bit of a cold, so sorry for the sniffles and all that stuff. Big Hook says, I suspect Trump will flee to Venezuela as soon as the election is over. Trump is saving money to exit. He is barely spending on campaign anymore. And I know we're all wondering about his bug out plan. And I can guarantee you that if we're thinking about it, so is the FBI and whatever law enforcement that there is to try to prevent that. And I know he has a private plane, but still, you can't just get on a private plane and leave. I mean, you have to. You would have to break the law, and by not entering a flight plan or whatever. So, I just think that Trump is hopefully under such scrutiny, under such a tight, watch, that law enforcement would be able to stymie any attempts to get out of the country. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm naive on that. Robert Pavant, how's the weather in Vegas today? Oh, okay. It's already well, it's 12:06. It's 99 degrees. So we haven't hit 100 degrees yet. I guess we're supposed to hit 105. And I got to tell you, we're above average temperatures. We're a good 6-7 degrees above average. We're having a long summer, a long hot summer. We've already broken records. Sorry about that. We've broken so many records for being the hottest summer on record here and everything. But I think we've got about another week of these 100-degree temperatures, or a few more days, and then it's supposed to taper down. And we'll at least be in the 90s, which is a lot better than the hundreds. Let's see. Don O'Leary's here. Hey, Don. Good to see you. Thanks for being here, joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. Michael McAndrews, I don't even know how to dance. This is what Michael says. And because earlier Michael said, I will be dancing in the street when they arrest Dumpy Stump and put him behind bars. Just do whatever comes natural, Michael. Just shake it, wiggle it. Let it go. Just let it go. Just let your joy and just take over. Just be out there. It's like, woo, yeah. Donald Trump going to prison. I'll be right there with you. I don't know how to dance either, and I'll be right there dancing in the street. Hey, Bicycle Mike 42 says, hey guys, you mean Dim Tool? Good to see Bicycle Mike in the Driver's Lounge. Bicycle Mike 42 says, Trucker John, his name is Dim Tool. Okay. Say it one more time. Say it one more time, motherfucker. Say Dim Tool one more time, motherfucker. Say it one more time. God damn it. All right, Bicycle Mike, you got your little joke in. All right. It's Dim Tool, not Tim Pool. All right, we get it. You're so proud of that joke. Say it one more time, motherfucker. Hey, calm down, Tough Cookie. Calm down. He was just making a joke. He just wanted to make sure you saw it. Don't get your cookies all in a cookie or whatever. Don't crumble your cookie, man. All right, just mellow out there, cookie. Just mellow out, man. All right. Quick appearance by those two. You never know when they're going to jump in. You just never know. Bonnie Agliata says, it's a beautiful day in New York. Enjoy. It's a beautiful day. That's all I know. And let's see here. Tim Fool. Oliver Brownlow says Tim Fool. Del Francisco, oh shit, Tough Cookie. Yeah, Tough Cookie just popped in. Josh says, I fear whatever happens, he'll be a martyr figure for many weirdos. Well, yeah, that's going to happen. Because he's already, they're already, we have the, Joel the Troll, Mike H, otherwise known as Mike H, that seemed to be in love with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump can do no wrong. Donald Trump can walk on water, apparently. So, but, screw those assholes. Not that you'd want to, but, Mr. Spock says, I want the video game with bald Tim Pool in it. You have to upgrade your beanie to get to the next level. Mountain Bike Fan says, don't call me Cookie was a line of Donna Mills in Knots Landing. She said it was one of her favorite lines. That's funny. I remember that show, Knots Landing. Knots Landing? Or is it Knots Landing? I guess so. Mozart's here. Hey, Mozart, good to see you. Mozart says, do they live together like Burton and Ernie? No, they have separate accommodations. They do not, but they do hang out here a lot when I'm doing the show. They come and hang out. And then after that, where they go, I don't keep track of. So. Nick Rich says, walking on frozen water is easy. Well, for you maybe, but I would be falling on my ass probably. I apologize for the runny nose and the wiping thereof. Let's see. Mr. Spock says there's an AI bit at Josh. It might be on YouTube. Non-Useless says, why was the Electoral College vote ratified rather than the popular vote? Because back when the Constitution was written, the Founding Fathers didn't want too much democracy. I'm not an expert on the subject, but I really believe it was to appease the southern colonies that were going to become states. I don't know if they were official states yet. They were trying to become states, and they were trying to, make this constitution. I guess they were states, but whatever. It's all new. It was all a new thing. They were trying to get everyone together. They were trying to get all the colonies together, the southern states to come in on it. And I think that this is what they had to do in order to stand united and to fight England. They had to get all 13 colonies on board, and I think this was a big compromise. And I think a lot of the founding fathers knew what they were doing. They didn't like it, but they knew that in order to be strong and united against the UK, they had to make that kind of compromise. That's the way I look at it. Ginger Mom says at dawn, I currently live on Long Island, New York. Long Island. I desperately miss living in the cities. I still get to Minneapolis to see my family. Nothing like the beauty of Minnesota and the Minnesota Nice. And now we have a nice VP candidate that came from there. And also, my entire dad's side of my family were all from Minnesota. So there. MJ Daniel says, I like the spinoff, Don Knotts Landing. That's funny. Del Francisco, it's about to be fall color time here. Here, nothing better. Yeah, those fall colors, very pretty. Nick Rich says, no apologies needed for being sick. Glad you're not in the hospital. Me too. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah. No matter what, I'm glad I'm not in the hospital. Even if I didn't have a cold, I would be glad I'm not in the hospital. Anyhow, but yeah, thanks for that, Nick. Non-useful says the founders had great faith in the concept of representative democracy. Non-useful is going on. Non-useful. This is a non-useful show. Non-useful says trusting that the people would have enough intelligence to vote good representatives at the state level who would respect their interest. Oliver Radlow says the Electoral College was supposed to prevent the election of a candidate like Donald Trump. Yeah, and we see that failed miserably. Michael Andrews, the found fathers did not like the Kings. No, they were more Ducks fans, I think. Mr. Spock, I got another 5 eggs today. 5 eggs! 5 eggs! You got 5 eggs. Really, you got 5 eggs. Michael Andrews, I can't type. I quant type. And you proved it right there. There's nothing more evidential than that post right there that you did. It's beautiful. First of all, lowercase I, and then CWANT. It's beautifully. That's beautiful because it's self-evident. Mountain Bike Fan says there was a segment on MSNBC where an author talks about how the founders didn't really want it to be a democracy and more of a group in charge, but the real regular people in the states pushed them. And I don't know. You can't believe everything you read. Bonnie Aguilera said votes were for sale back then, and folks couldn't read or write. Yeah, we had a lot of illiteracy, apparently, back in them days. Not like today. We can all read real good. Bonnie Aguilera says, "Vote." Oh wait, I just read that. Search for you is here. Hey, good to see a search for you. Said Dave, just saw this notification. How y'all doing? Well, we're doing good, except for I am blowing my nose and I'm not farting. People accuse me of that, and look, if I farted, I would be like, I'm the kind of guy who's like, hey, did you hear that? That was a good one, huh? Or, I would say, hey, barking spiders. Ooh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why I went into Rodney Dangerfield, but Mrs. Buck, and I ate 3 eggs today. I can't eat them fast enough. Well, there you go. Hey, Azolda Zen gifted a Trucker John membership. Thank you so much, Azolda Zen. I appreciate the support of the show. And Billy Kid 73 got that. And Billy Kid 73, I haven't even seen Billy Kid 73 in so long. Maybe this will bring him back. So thank you so much, Azolda. Maybe old Billy Kid will actually come in and chat with us at some point. Non-useful says Diamond's last meal was 5 eggs. May she rest in peace. MJ Daniels here. Hey, good to see you, MJ Daniels. Says, hopefully the Harris-Walz administration will find a spot for Governor Jay Inslee on the cabinet when we elect the Washington AG Ferguson governor. Inslee seems like a good person. Mr. Spock, I have 2.5 dozen in the fridge. 2.5 dozen. That's a lot of eggs. Josh says now information literacy is the problem. Yeah. Hey, Tim Farrell's here, one of our resident Tims. Good to see Tim in the driver's lounge. Says, hi, gang. I just got cut from commenting in Trump rally feed like no one thought possible. Huh. So they block you? Donald Leary says, thank to whoever gifted me the membership the other day. Like I say, I think that was either who was doing those? Fancy, and there was 3 people the other day that did them. Sorry if I can't remember, but yeah, thanks for whoever did that. Thank you so much. Barney Aguilera, green is good. All right. Mr. Spock, bring my mangoes back down. MJ Daniel liked the line from Christmas Vacation. Aunt Bethany, did you break wind? Uncle Lewis, did the room clear out? Hey, okay, I got a confession to make. I've been hearing all this talk about Chucker John farting, and I feel kind of bad because actually it was me. Right? I can't let this go on. Poor guy, he's taking all the heat for it, and that was me. Yeah, I was over there in the corner, and apparently the mic picked it up. Didn't know it was such a good mic. That was a tough cookie fart. Yeah, that's what that was. So you guys can just let's put that to rest. All right. Hey, so I didn't even hear it myself. Apparently, it was one of those kind that you don't smell either because I didn't smell anything. But tough cookie coming to my rescue. Apparently. Non-useless says, I have 9 dozen eggs in the fridge from my flock to feed homeless breakfast at the pantry. That's a lot of eggs. That's good. You can feed a lot of homeless people. That's awesome. Search for You says, got my membership from Fancy. Where is Fancy? Fancy's not here today. Fancy's taking the day off from the Trucker John channel. AJ Daniel, love that movie. Christmas Vacation. Oh, yeah, it's a funny movie. Licorice Crumbly Farts. Josh, that's awesome, non-useful. Yeah, that is awesome. That is, helping to feed the homeless. I drive through town here. I don't feed them one bit. The other day I was in line at Jack in the Box, and there's a bunch of homeless people around there. And I hate when they come up to my, I'll be trying to order, and they'll come up like right next to the menu there where you order, and they'll start panhandling, and it pisses me off, man. And so I just go, no, I can't help you, because I don't want to encourage them to keep hanging around there. I just wish there was better facilities that they could go to and get food at some sort of a soup kitchen or whatever, instead of panhandling me at Jack in the Box. And then, see, I don't give them money because I think they're just going to go buy booze or drugs with it. But there's so many homeless here in Vegas, and I know the number one cause of homelessness, they say, is housing costs are too high. But maybe housing costs are too high for a lot of people because they're just drug addicts, and we need to have better drug rehab programs or something. We need to have better, I think, programs to help people. In other words, I shouldn't have to do it at the Jack in the Box. There should be programs where people can go and they can get the help they need. We need more of that. Tim Farrell says that they blocked me. None of my comments appeared after a certain point. I think it was my last comment that I told them a couch was literally one step away from potentially being First Lady. That was just a bridge too far. Is that the expression? And you crossed the line there, Tim. Tom Bias says the Electoral College came about after the Civil War. The smaller populated states were not being represented in the popular vote. It was after the Civil War? I thought that was from the get-go. Well, that I'm gonna have to look into that. I'll have to look into that. Michael McAndrew says, I must have pissed off a salesman because I found an egg thrown on my roof the next day. Really? You think it was a salesman that would do that? Mountain Bike Fan says, we know who votes against mental health programs. Right. We do. Mr. Spock, I think little Jerry Seinfeld has a reproductive problem. Oh, that's Mr. Spock's eggs. He has very creative names for the chickens. Non-Useful says that George Washington was the president of the United States in 1787. He was the first president of the United States. You know, I know that. And was unanimously elected by Electoral College after the ratification of the Constitution. So, see, now, Non-Useful is saying that the Electoral College was around way before the Civil War, which I thought that I think Non-Useful is right. Oliver Brownlow, well, you could offer to buy them a burger at Jack in the Box. Can't get drunk on that. Yeah, but I don't want them fucking coming near my car, man. The other day, a lady was in one of those like scooter, those little rideable scooter chair things, you know. And I was trying to order at Jack in the Box, and she comes over to the passenger side, and she's like, and I'm trying to ignore her, but I can't ignore her. She's just sitting there, so I look over, and she's like holding up a quarter, and she's like, "Will you buy me a burger for a quarter or something like that?" And I'm just like, "No." I'm like, "No, I can't help you." And I know this is probably gonna go against a lot of you guys in here in the chat, but I don't like fucking homeless people fucking bugging me for money. Go down to the fucking welfare office and get some fucking money from the welfare office, man. Don't fucking harass me. I just said, no, I can't help you. That's my standard thing. I just go, my thing is, no, I can't help you. As soon as you say that, they bug out. And I can tell you, that lady on the scooter, she wasn't missing very many meals. So I don't know what the fucking deal is. She didn't look like she was missing any meals at all. She's probably like twice as big as I am, so. I know I sound like a cruel, probably a right-winger or something, but this fucking panhandling shit, I don't go for it. I feel sorry for it. All the people I'm driving around, people are passed out on the sidewalks. They're passed out. They're living in the dirt. They're living in these flood control channels. I feel sorry for them, but I just go by. I'm like, what? Can't you guys go get on fucking welfare or something? You know, why you gotta? And I think most of the ones here in Vegas, I don't know about, like I was going to say earlier, I know high cost of living or housing prices are the number one cause of homelessness. I think the number one cause of homelessness here in Vegas are drug addicts. They're here for drugs, and they're here to, you know, just they know there's a lot of money here. When people come here to gamble, so they come here just to panhandle to buy drug money. So I don't know. I just don't like dealing with homeless people. Go down to the welfare office if you need help. You know, go there. Don't go to me. I'm not the fucking welfare office. Anyhow, that's my point of view on that. You guys can disagree with me, and hopefully you don't hate me for it. But I just don't like being accosted and confronted. So my standard answer is no, I can't help you. And as soon as I say that, they turn right around because they know I'm not, you know. Now, you know, and having said that, I have given money to people. You know, quite a few times because I just felt sorry for people, and I had some money in my pocket. And I'm like, here, go ahead and take this, and I'll give them a few bucks or something. And you see their eyes light up, and what do? They run right into the liquor store. I didn't watch what they bought, but I'm sure it was some sort of booze or something, or the convenience store that sells, you know, liquor or whatever. Mrs. Spock, it's a mental health issue. TJ, yeah, and I'm not a fucking mental health expert, or you know, go and go down to the welfare office or whatever, and go get social services. Don't fucking bug me about it. James Hermio, I think, might be on my side. Says on this, says panhandlers are pretty fucking annoying. You know, it's kind of like don't feed the trolls. Well, don't feed the panhandlers. If you give them money, then they're going to go, oh, this is a good spot for me to panhandle. That's why I try not to I try not to give them any money, or give them anything, because I don't want them to think, oh, this is a good spot. They need to go, oh, this is not a good spot, and they can go somewhere else. Oliver Brownlow says a more diplomatic way to refuse charity to beggars is to say not today. No, I don't say not today because that implies that maybe tomorrow. No, I just say sorry, can't help you, and that does the trick usually, right? Bonnie Agliata, but for the grace of God. Well, then they can go down to church and they can ask the church. They should be begging the churches for money and food. I'm not a church. I'm not a church. I'm not a welfare office. I'm not a social service provider. That's where those people should be going, not to me. And not to the places where I'm trying to order my food at the drive-thru. I know I sound like a dick, but I don't care. Josh says, I get asked for a cigarette all the time downtown. It's like someone sees you eating a sandwich and asks for a bite. Why is that somehow acceptable? I mean, I understand, like, if you're really starving to death and you're really desperate, I mean, you could ask someone for a bite of the sandwich or whatever. But in America, the richest country in the world, there should be places where people can go and get help. And it's not through the individual like me. It's through, we should have systems in place where people can get food and whatever they need. And speaking of cigarettes, why do I see in Vegas here, they have smoke shops. I'm sure they have them wherever you guys live. But they have these smoke shops all over the place. And I've noticed that, like, these homeless people, they hang out in front of the smoke shops. And I'm like, why are they always hanging out in front of the smoke shops? I guess maybe it's just a place they can bum cigarettes and maybe get a few bucks from people. But that's one of the places where it's a big conglomeration of what I perceive to be homeless people. Mountain Bike fan says, actually, Nevada's welfare is really hard to get, but they probably could. The forms are a pain to fill out. But what else are they going to do with their time not looking for a job? Well, and I do think that I think a lot of these people are so far gone, whether they had mental issues to begin with, or just being on the street has given them mental issues, and being on drugs, of course, messes you up. That I'm not sure if they can even do it, actually, because I mean, these people are so stupid. Some of them are so stupid. Maybe it's not stupidity. Maybe it's just desperation or giving up on life. But I really think they're trying to get run over. Because there's so many times where I'm driving and they're not wearing colorful clothes. It's like nighttime. It's kind of a dark part of the street, and all of a sudden a fucking person comes out, and I know they're homeless. I know, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you can tell. I've seen enough of them around here to know they're part of the homeless community or whatever, or at least they're out on the streets a lot. And I think they're really trying to get hit, and I think they're figuring, like, if I die, then fine, I don't have to worry about this shit anymore, and if I live, then maybe I'll have a good lawsuit or something like that. And that is one of the scary things too. That I'm going to hit somebody someday, because I swear to God, almost every night, I have a close call with almost hitting a fucking person, not just a pedestrian like on the strip. We got a lot of pedestrians that are jaywalking. That's one thing, but just out on the when you're in the neighborhoods or off the strip, people just start walking right across the street, right in front of you, man. And I got to hit the brakes, or I got to, do something to get around them. And they're crazy. They're fucking crazy. Tim Farrell says, another woman collapsed at the Trump rally. The crowd called for Trump to pray. He said that was a good idea and suggested some people should pray. Could you imagine? Donald Trump has never prayed in his life. Could you imagine if he tried to pray? Of course, he put it off on everybody else. I'm just going to skip down a little bit here. Tom Bias, free beer tomorrow. There you go. Tim Farrell, geez, John. Maybe I went off a little too harshly there. Paul Sharky Man says, I'm surrounded by beggars and they are all crackheads. It's the same the world over. Yeah, it's that I think these are mainly crackheads. Or meth heads or whatever. I don't even know what they're doing. All this food about panhandling, or all this talk about panhandling and Jack in the Box has made me hungry. So I had to take some bite of my toast. Sorry about that. Awful image there. I'm a person of limited means myself. So my rule when I go to the city is to carry a single $1 coin. The first person who asks for it gets it. To all others, I say, not today. Hey, that, to each his own. Hey, one time I always keep like my spare change in a container or something. And one day, this is back when I was still driving the truck. This is a few years ago, and I think I was emptying out my truck or I was doing something, and I had all these coins, and I had these shorts with big like cargo pockets or whatever. And I remember I just put all the coins in my pocket, and I think I was going to add it. I think I was going home or something, and so I thought I'm going to take all these coins because I had a container at my house, and I was going to put those coins in the container. And sometimes I have, $30 or $40 worth of coins or whatever. And then the big container I had, when that was full, that would be over $100 worth of coins. I had a bunch of coins in my pocket. I bet you I had at least $20 or $30 worth of coins that were jangling around in my pocket. And so I think this is back when I was in Fontana and I was going home, and I lived out in Palmdale, Lancaster area. And I think I had stopped at a convenience store. I was going to get something to drink for the way home, get a drink. And I didn't mean to flip you guys off. And so anyhow, when I got out, there was this homeless dude or whatever, panhandler guy, and he asked me if I could spare any change. And so here I had. It was one of those days. I guess he just caught me in a good moment, a good whatever. And I was like, yeah, I got some spare change. So I reached into my pocket and I gave him all my change, and he's like, cupping his hand. I mean, it was like too much for him to even carry. I mean, like I said, there might have been like $30 worth of coins. And he was just like, whoa! He was so jazzed, he got all this money. And I think he ran in and bought some Hennessy or something. I don't know. James Williams says, the relevant question is, do you call your reps and ask them why there are so many apparent in distress? Social services has been cut for years. Well, no, I haven't done any of that. I don't call people. I should, though. John O'Leary, I have given money outside the grocery store she needed to feed her kids. Yeah, supposedly. I never believe anything they say. I never believe a word they say. That doesn't mean it's not true. Doesn't mean that she needs to feed her kids, but I never believe anything they say. Del Francisco says smoke shops in Minneapolis can't sell menthol cigs or flavored cigars. Okay. Mr. Spock, dumpster diving. Oh, I've seen that. Dumpster diving is hit and miss. I got about $300 of frozen high-end cheese once. I was eating cheese omelets for 6 months. We have dumpsters here in my apartment complex, and I saw some people dumpster diving the other day, and I was like, and I remember driving by the dumpster, and they're in there. There was one person outside, one person inside, and I was like handing the other person some stuff. And I was just thinking to myself, oh, I wonder if dumpster diving is doing good today or whatever. James Jaramillo, the ones that are worst is you offer to buy them food, but they say they would rather have money. You're not that hungry. Yeah. Yeah, they would rather have the money because they want to go and buy some drugs. Nick Rich, drive slower. Nick, I do. So you're gonna blame me for the people that are jumping out into the street? Yeah, thanks, Nick. Tammy Price says, I say the same thing about pedestrians every day. Someone walks into traffic. It's scary. Jolie says, my brother is an addict and has been homeless on and off for years. He says most of the people that are homeless want to be there. My brother prefers living in the street. I believe that too, Jolie. I do believe of course, there are people that are there that don't want to be there, but I think there are a lot of people that, if you said, hey, there's a program where you can get on housing and you can get a housing voucher and you can get, you know, a food voucher or whatever, they would be like, nah. They're kind of like, they're almost like the Trumpers of the homeless people. You know, they're like, nah, I don't need no government. I don't need no stinking government. You know, whatever. And to those folks, I say, okay, fine, go ahead and live on the fucking concrete. And you know, you're not getting anything from me though. Yeah, mountain bike fan says, if they're not on a sidewalk, you'll most likely be held in fault to hit someone. Yeah, I know. It's scary shit. Mountain bike Mike laughing out, that made you hungry. Well, yeah, you know, because I did make some toast. Some yummy toast. But I really don't like to eat on camera because, you know. Paul Sharkymania says, hi, TJ, are you having a chat before the Trump and Kamala debate? I hadn't really thought about it. Let's see, is that going to be, is that Tuesday night? I believe that's Tuesday night. I really hadn't planned on doing it like before I got a Tuesday morning show planned for 9 a.m. Pacific time here in the U.S. I really hadn't planned on that, to tell the truth. I'm just going to skip down a little bit here. Robert, $20 or $30 of change in your pocket. Well, I explained the whole thing, right? Where I always save change, and I was cleaning out, I guess, my truck one time when I was going home, and I just poured all this change in my pocket because I was going to take it home, and then I was just going to put that. I had another container at my house that was even bigger, and then I would always just collect this change, and it was, believe me, it was a rare thing. That panhandler just hit me at the right moment, because when he said, "Do you have any spare change you can spare or whatever?" and I had like a whole shitload of change in my pocket, and I guess I kind of felt like, I guess he's got me on that one, you know. So I go, yeah, here you go, and I reached in and I just gave him all this change. But that's not a normal thing. I don't really. Hennessy is kind of pricey. Yeah, I don't know. I just threw Hennessy out there, but because I think I like Hennessy actually, or was it Jameson? Jameson was the one I like. Yeah, he probably bought some Mad Dog 2020 or whatever. That's probably the one. That's what he got. He got some Mad Dog. That's what it was. I don't know. I mean, I'm just guessing. Mountain Bike Fan says, Harris Wallace 2024, trying to get us back on track here. Thanks, Mountain Bike, trying to steer us back to stop bashing the homeless. How very unprogressive of me, very unliberal of me to bash the homeless. Like I say, I think it's horrible. I see the homeless. I feel bad about it. And like someone else said, yeah, I should probably call my representatives and say, what the fuck are you guys doing about this? Why aren't you doing anything about this? But, non-useful, I gave whole turkeys to the veterans home. Well, that's great. That's a great thing to do. That's a veterans home. That's different. Donald Leary says no menthol also to deter young kids from smoking. And let's see, Oliver Blanlow, if you're going to give money to beggars, it's best to keep that money in a different place from your other money. You don't necessarily want to show a homeless person all the money you have. Right. Yeah, if you whip out your wallet and you got a bunch of 20s in there, and you're digging around, you're like, oh, maybe I give them like a 5, and you're thumbing through all your 20s or whatever, or your C notes. That might not be a good idea. Let's see. Sorry for the sniffles here. I got the sniffles. Roxanne, he should be charged with passing funny money, Big Hook, and thrown in jail. Oh, I missed that one. Oh, I missed what Big Hook said, but I think I've seen. Oh, it says that Republican guy handing out kind of $5 to get them. Yeah, that is pretty sickening, and you are right, Roxanne. That guy who does that should be thrown in jail for doing that. I agree. Mountain Mike fan says yes. Leave the poor homeless alone. I know. It's like I don't mean to bash, and I know it's a hey man, it's a horrible situation. I think, and like you say, and Jolie brought the point out that some of them want to be out there, and yeah, well, but I don't think they all do, and my heart kind of goes out to them. I wish that there was more. Better system in place where people could get at least basic just roof over your head, food for your stomach, shelter from the elements, and then help whatever they need. If they need mental health, they need drug rehab, they need help getting training, getting jobs. That's the things that we need to reduce the homelessness problem. But what can I say? Oliver Brown says, Trucker John, you were the lottery machine that paid off. Yeah. He was very, very, you can see his eyes just went like, because like I said, it was probably like $30 worth of change because there was a lot of quarters in there. If it's a lot of like nickels and pennies and dimes, then, it takes a lot to add up. But I had a lot of quarters in there, and there's even like $50 in there, 50-cent pieces. Mike McFadden, now if the homeless would leave you alone. Yeah, really. If they would just leave me the fuck alone, then this would be a great town, great city. No, I know. I don't mean to sound heartless and cruel. I just think we need better systems in place. We really do. Mr. Spock, I think the tropical storm is over. Little Jerry is crowing outside. Okay, well maybe that's a sign, huh? Barney Agliata, bash Trump for our future. Mountain Bike fan says, yeah, show the homeless your wad of hundreds. Big Hook, give money to food banks. They can use the money to double and triple the buying power. Absolutely. And that's a great thing when Bruce Springsteen was here, when Bruce goes into towns, I guess he hooks up with charitable organizations, and the one they had here was I forget the name of it, but I went online and I donated some money because they were passing out these cards to this. It's a big organization here in Vegas to provide food and to help people with shelter and stuff. So I did donate to that, and Bruce, that was at Bruce Springsteen concert, and not only as you're going into the concert, they've got all the people from that. They've got dozens and dozens of these people from that organization that hand out these cards to you, and then the card, there's like a QR code. When you go home, you keep the card, you go home, and you go on, and it's a QR code. It leads you to their website, and then you can donate money, and it's a great thing. And I don't know how much they got from just that one concert alone, but I bet you it was a lot. And then at the very end of Bruce's concert, after he does the whole concert, he does his encore, like his regular encore, with the whole band and everything, which is really great. Then all of the band, they're done. They go backstage They're all done. Then Bruce comes back out, and he does one more song, and it's all about that organization. Like for this in Vegas, it was all about that, donating to that homeless organization. So he does a special song and a special moment when everybody's there. Everybody's, got their attention all on him, and he does another, kind of like a shout out or whatever to this organization that was here at the concert, and to tell everyone, make sure you don't throw that card away, go home, go on there, donate to this very worthy cause, and then he sings this great song. So I love Bruce Springsteen. He's a great guy. And Mike H is back. Apparently was on timeout. Says maybe Kamala can fix that problem. Well, you know what? I would definitely think that she would have that homeless people and the homeless issue has a much, much, much better chance of getting any type of fix or resolve or improvement under a Kamala Harris administration than under a Trump administration. I would say under a Trump administration, the homeless have about a 0 chance of getting any type of relief or improvement. Under Kamala Harris, I don't know. But at least there's a chance. That's the way I look at it. That's why I say vote blue for all that's dear to you. That's my saying. I'm inventing it. I'm coining it. If you ever hear anybody else say it, they got it from me, Trucker John. Vote blue for all that's dear to you. That's why I say that, because if homelessness is an issue for you, and that you think needs to be handled, and that the government should have programs for this and really deal with this issue, voting for Donald Trump or any Republican, I would say you have about a 0 chance of that ever happening. But if you vote for Democrats, I don't know what the percentage is of it, but you have a much better chance of something being done to improve that situation, or at least to attempt. Big Cook said the amount of food waste in America is sickening. We don't lack food. We just emphasize profit over a better society. When COVID hit, the farmers were plowing over crops because the restaurants closed. As old as NTJ, can we talk about Walmart pressuring their employees to ask customers for donations? That pisses me off because they have enough money to donate whatever. You mean like when you're at a checkout counter and they say, "Would you like to donate your change to this thing or whatever?" All the stores do that. It seems like, even like I shop at Albertsons or even at fast food places, they'll have this. Would you like to donate $1, or there's different choices, and you can do your spare change to the American Heart Association or whatever, the Red Cross. They all do that, and I understand your point about Walmart, being so rich, and I don't know. I know we don't like Walmart, we demonize them and all this kind of stuff, and there's a lot of reason to not like Walmart, or at least the Walmart family or the Walmart organization. But for all I know, Walmart, they probably do donate to a lot of causes, and not because they're so kind-hearted, but because those are good, like, tax write-offs. And as far as these things at the checkout counter, I think those organizations, they would like that they have that ability to get out there, to have that access to people, to ask for donations. So, yeah, I understand the point, and if that's what you're talking about, because I don't know, I only remember like at the checkout when they say, "Would you like to donate to this?" or it comes out on the screen if you're paying on the screen or whatever. I don't remember actually, like, I'm shopping and then a Walmart employee comes up to me and says, "Hey," I've never seen that, but I understand the point, Azalda, about Walmart, and they have so much money. But I bet you they do donate to a lot of causes. Like I said, for tax write-offs, not because they're so kind-hearted. And as far as and I'm like the things at the check counters, I think those organizations really appreciate being able to do that, because they probably do get, because every now and then I'll do that. I'll put $1 or $2 in it, or I'll put my spare, the spare change you would get. I'll just have that go to that organization. I've done that at McDonald's. I've done that at, I think, Albertsons or whatever. So, but I understand the point. I gotta blow my nose. Man. Sorry, guys. I just blew my nose and I did not fart once. Not once did I fart. Just so you know, I'm not so sick that like it's coming out of both ends or whatever. Anyhow, sorry about that. So hey, Chad Bosnick's here. Good to see Chad. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us in the driver's lounge. Now, Chad says, I keep backpacks with supplies live, like socks, hand sanitizer, water, etc., and have them out when I'm driving and see people holding signs. That's a nice thing. That's very nice. Very nice thing to do. Nick Rich says, if you don't already know Joel, why speculate now? Oh, I don't. I'm not into their little back and forth. I skip, so I don't know what you guys are talking about. But I'm sure I'm on Nick's side. I'm on Nick's side on whatever it is you guys are talking about. Alvin Brownlow says, once I was in the city and a beggar asked me for money and I had none to spare. But I had packed my lunch, so I did have an extra sandwich, which I offered him, and he began to eat it immediately. I'm sure we can go on and on and on and on about panhandlers and beggars and homeless people, and I've given food. Look, I know I came off really strong and really harsh about it. I've given food, I've given money, I've done all of that, but I think as the years have gone by, I'm just like, I'm done with it. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Mountain Bike Fan says, the fascist MAGA Trumpist Republicans think the poor are lazy and it's all their fault that they are poor. Isn't Florida that you have a drug test to get help? There's probably a few states like that besides just Florida. But look, okay, if you want to have it where they have to take a drug test in order to get help, and if they test positive, then they should be offering them drug rehab, free drug rehab programs, and say, hey, look, and so if we can give you some housing assistance and we can give you some food assistance, but you have to concurrently go to these drug rehab programs, and if you miss any, then you're off the program and you get no money and you get no food or something. That's what I would do. Maybe that didn't come out right, where it sounded like you're I don't know, but that's something I would do. Like if I was the king of the world, I would say, okay, you're testing positive for all these drugs, or even if you're an alcoholic, it's like, okay, you're obviously an alcoholic. We can get you some food and we can get you some shelter, but you're gonna have to go to drug rehab, or you're gonna have to go to alcoholic rehab. That's the deal, folks. That's the deal. Non-useless says, Sugar John, my motto is vote blue or be sad and blue. Yeah, but I don't like to reuse blue. You know what I mean? That's why I think mine is better. And if you guys want to use it, that's fine. Just know that I invented it, and it goes a little something like this. Vote blue for all that's dear to you. There you go. Jolie says, never donate at stores. You're just paying toward a tax write-off for them. Always donate directly to your charity of choice. All right, that's a good thing to remember. Thanks, Jolie, for that. Tim Farrell, I hate that too. A lot of stores take your donation and claim the credit for themselves. Wow, I didn't even know that. Azolda now says that Trucker John, an employee came up to me with a baby doll and laid it on thick. I didn't know they were doing that, Azolda. I've never experienced that, but yeah, I think I would be put off by that. That'd be off-putting, if you know what I mean. See, Chad Bosick says that's correct, Jolie. Plus, then you can use it as a write-off of your own taxes if you give straight to the organization. Sorry for the coughing, guys. Sorry for the coughing. Jeff Curry's here. Good to see Jeff. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. Jeff says, I always heard if you fart and burp at the same time, you will have a heart attack and die. That's hilarious. I would be dead by now if that were true. Nick Rich says, I've proven that to be a myth. Yeah. Rubber Perez, people stop farting. Save the ozone. That's funny. You guys are hilarious. You guys crack me up. Hey, Nathan Hawk is here. Good to see Nathan. Trucker Cocaine. Hi, on Cocaine. Do, 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 do. Come on, Jolie. How's that song go? You know that. Tim Farrell, before we consider your offer to be king of the world, John, we have to know your position on fracking. I'm against it. I'm against fracking. I'm officially going to put it out here. I'm against fracking. Josh, vote blue so it's safe to screw. Yeah, that's a good one. That works as far as like, all the Roe v. Wade stuff and all that. J.A. Dickey's here. Hey, J.A., good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's zone. J.A. Dickey says, Trucker John, you are an honest man. Ever since the Great Society got underfunded over time, our ability to keep people from sliding back into poverty decreased. Having requirements equal good idea. Well, I'm just spitballing here. I'm just spitballing. Chad Bostic says, I actually have a lot of respect for you, Jolie. You could have kicked me from several chats, but you engaged me instead. Props. Chad, we're not going to bounce you unless you get, really like hate speech stuff. And I don't think you do. I've never seen you even come close to that. So, Paul Shruggy Man says, TJ, you better leave off the weed a day or two. Actually, I don't do weed, but I still have some gummy bear edibles that one of my passengers gave me, like, what, a couple weeks ago or whatever. And I swear to God, whenever I take one, so far she gave me some gummies, and I've been cutting them in kind of like quarters, I think. And so the first night she gave me one, and I took one when I went to bed, and I swear to God, when I do that, I sleep like a freaking log. I mean, to the point where I usually sleep pretty good anyhow, but I usually wake up in the morning and whatever. But then the other day I did it again. I did another edible a few nights ago, and when I do that, I sleep for like 10 hours or something, like a log. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but actually it is. I feel really good. But anyhow, that's my little edible story. Trucker John. Tim Farrell says, trucking John. I'm a truckin'. That's one of my little songs I made up that was kind of like a parody of the Grateful Dead song, Truckin'. Nick Rich, 1 o'clock p.m. Oh, so I'm 4 minutes behind. Thank you very much for that, because that lets me know that I'm 4 minutes behind in the chat. Here's Jolie about talking to Chad Bostic saying, I only boot people for being abusive. You're always respectful, except for Mike H. Sometimes I just time him out for fun. Or if I'm in a bad mood. That's funny. That's funny. Good old Joel the Troll. Mike H. Like I was saying last time, Mike H. His real name is Joel. He might be on the Russian payroll. Could be. Could be. Mike H. says, Jolie, what did I miss? I fell asleep. Chad Bostic, I have a grow tent in my garage growing some 1979 Florida heirloom skunk currently. Good for you. Bonnie Aguilar, John, can't hurt, right? Yeah, can't hurt. Nathan Hawk, Jolie, I will leave soon. Do not worry about me. Okay, Nathan. Mrs. Spock, animals at bedtime equal good night's sleep. I'm finding that out. I've taken 2 of those in the last couple weeks or whatever, and both times slept like a log for like, I don't know if it was 10 hours, but it might have been 9. I don't know. It was pretty close. It was like, wow. I was like, wow. Wow. I was like, wow. Wow. I sleep and it's so good. Anyhow, James Hermio says, when it comes to fracking, those who haven't seen them should watch Gasland movies. I remember Gasland. That came out like back during Obama or something, didn't it? Or maybe even Bush. Isn't that the one where like fire came out of their faucets or something? MJ Daniel says, it will take a whole series of steps to help homeless groups of professionals to assess who needs help, what kind of help, then either drug or mental treatment followed by job training. Yeah, it's a concerted effort, that's for sure. It's going to take a concerted effort, and it's not something you could, me handing out some money to people at Jack in the Box isn't going to help it. Josh, I'm out. Love y'all. Okay, Josh, thank you for being here. I do appreciate you. We are almost at 2 hours the show, so I probably will be signing off here pretty soon anyhow. Mike H. says, I love you. Says, Jolie, I love you. I think we have I don't know, we have a budding romance here with Mike H. and Jolie. Jeff Curry says, ate a blue raspberry gummy about 30 minutes ago. I'm waiting for the fun to begin. Well, there you go. I guess Paul said bye to Roxanne. Is Roxanne leaving us? Roxanne. Sorry, I have to leave now. Oh, okay. Well, you're probably gone. But just in case, if you're not gone, just want to say thank you, Roxanne, for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. I do enjoy you guys hanging out with me. And Mr. Spock, Bond rips for Benny Loco. Chad Bostic, is everyone excited about the debate? I am excited. Now, do you guys think that Trump's going to show up? Because I remember there's been talk in past shows here where people were like saying they don't think he's even going to show up, even though he's agreed to it. But he's going to, at the last second, he's going to pull a hammy or something, or he's going to say that he has got COVID or whatever. Do you guys think do we still think he's going to show up? I do think he's going to show up, actually, because I think that, like I said, he's kind of damned if he doesn't, damned if he does. The damned if he does part is because I think he's going to get smoked by Kamala Harris. But I think Trump probably has a big enough ego that thinks that he could come out looking good. So, and if he doesn't show up, that will definitely be a sign of weakness. It looked like he chickened out. So I think he has to show up. And I just hope, I don't want to get my hopes up too big, because at first I was thinking like Kamala Harris is going to like just mop the floor with his comb over, type of a deal. But I kind of thought that Biden was going to do way better than he did. I had no idea that Biden was like so shaky and so out of it at that last debate. So I know that Kamala Harris is not anywhere near that, but I guess what I'm saying is I just don't want to get cocky or whatever. I don't want to get too cocky here, but I feel pretty confident, fairly confident that Kamala Harris can really shine in this debate and come out looking far superior to Trump. But we'll see. Chad Bossa says, I think it'll be a wash, talking about the debate. I think most people are baked in at this point. Well, I think most Republicans, registered Republicans and registered Democrats, I think we're all kind of baked in. But, hey, look, did you hear about Dick Cheney? Now, these past few episodes of my show here, I guess these are episodes, whatever, we've been talking about, Abby Kinzinger and Liz Cheney. We've been talking about the mayor of Mesa. We've been talking about all these various Republicans have been coming out and saying not only are they not voting for Donald Trump, but they are going to vote for Kamala Harris, which is amazing to hear these Republicans say that. And now even Darth Vader himself, Dick Cheney, has come out and said he's voting for Kamala Harris. So I'm not so sure if it's baked in, Chad. I'm not so sure. I think the Republican support for Donald Trump is peeling away. But whether or not that really indicates like the base or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, Dick Cheney. I mean, when you've lost Dick Cheney's vote and they actually go to the other side, that says a lot. So I'm not so sure if it's baked in, but we'll see. But then the point I was going to make is that there are still all those people that they claim to be independents and they haven't made up their mind yet. They're still waiting for more stuff or whatever. I don't think they're baked in. James Williams says, I have zero belief Trump is going to show up for the debate. So James thinks that he's not even going to show up. MJ Daniel, man, not much fun debates. Maybe I will watch Hal or somebody cover it later. Jeff Curry, I think he will due to his ego, but won't be surprised if he is a no-show. Oops. Nick Rich says, Don Old will babble and ramble constantly. Same old, same old. Yeah, and that's kind of funny. The Mike H's of the world will try to say that Kamala Harris can't speak, or that she speaks gobbledygook or whatever, or whatever. Did you see the gobbledygook when he was asked about what he would do about childcare and what specific legislation would he pass to help with childcare costs? And he went on this rambling gobbledygook word salad response. And the Mike H's of the world want to somehow ignore that and try to represent that Kamala Harris is the one that can't talk. See how they live in this opposite world? These maggots, they live in this opposite world. And that goes back to that whole Russian. They had their Operation Doppelganger. Where they buy off these right-wing media creators or whatever, influencers or whatever, and they tell them basically to say what is opposite of the truth and present it as the truth. So don't get fooled by it. If you want the truth, come here to the Trucker John channel. Trucker John live streams. There's my schedule every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. If you want the truth, you come here. Tell everybody. Tell all your friends. Share the show. Hit the share button. Tell all your friends. We don't get Russian money. We don't take Russian money. And if I was offered Russian money, I would tell them, take your Russian money and shove it so far up Vladimir Putin's ass that it's going to come out his ears and his nostrils. All right? All right. Mountain bike fan says, I don't know. I worry Harris may think she will be dealing with a normal person. She should know better. It seemed that way with President Biden. He was expecting Trump to debate real policy. Yeah, I think Kamala Harris, she's an experienced litigator, an experienced prosecutor. Kamala Harris don't play. Kamala Harris ain't going to play. So I'm more interested in seeing what she does than what he does, actually, because we know what he's going to do. He's gonna ramble and word salad and gish gallop, and he's not going to answer any questions directly. And everything he says that he does say is going to be a lie. We already know Donald Trump. So I'm interested more in seeing Kamala Harris and how she handles all that and how she basically, destroys him. Well, we'll see. We'll see how they perform. Mountain bike fan says, I wonder if people in Rancho Palos Verdes, California, now begging for help from the state are more Republicans than Democrats. People with a natural disaster always want the government to help. All I saw was a headline about that, so I really don't know about it, to tell the truth. Let's see. I'm just kind of scrolling down here a little bit. MJ Daniel, did Dick Cheney just shoot MAGA in the face with a bird gun? Is that how far I am behind in the chat? Because I talked about Dick Cheney like 15 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago. Tim Farrell says, I visited a site that had 7 windmills. Huge once you get up close. I saw 0 dead birds, but I probably got noise cancer. I know for years and years, I used to live just a few miles from a huge, in California, from a huge windmill farm or whatever. And I used to drive through there all the time. And not once did I ever see any dead birds on the ground. And I know, and Trump has been talking about ever since, the 2016 campaign. He's been talking about this windmills and stuff. And I'm sure that windmills kill birds. There's windmill things all over the place, and there's birds all over the place. I'm sure it happens. But it's not to the point where you're just seeing like piles of dead birds everywhere. That's the way he makes it sound. And I think I looked it up, like, about the dead bird thing. And I think what I found out is that there are actually millions of birds that are killed every year from running into like skyscrapers, into the windows of skyscrapers. So I would say Trump Tower has probably killed more birds than these windmill farms. Janelle Walker says, JoJo from Jersey had Politics Girl on today. Oh, thank you for that update. They are a force to be reckoned with. I like both of them very much. They're both very good, I think. Big monopolies don't have to compete for business, and as a result, no pressure to low prices or give a better product. That is so true. That is very, very true. That's why we see a lot of greedflation going on. Tim Farrell, can you believe there is no mention of that story on CNN's site at Jeff Curry? Biggest story in a long time that is going to grow. What story was that? Now I got to scroll back and see what the hell you're talking about. Was it the Palos Verde thing? Maybe. I don't know. Anyhow, all right. I'm gonna move on. I can't go back. I can't go back. I got nowhere else to go. Mountain Bike Fan says the debaters are not supposed to ask each other questions, but I think Harris should say how Trump is all wrong about tariffs are not paid for by foreign countries and all his other lies. Well, we'll see. We'll see what she does. Oliver Brownlow, windmills in Donald Trump's mind killed all the birds in there and gave him brain cancer. Nick Rich, skyscraper killed Oz. I just mentioned that. Nick Rich, I just mentioned that. Chad Bostic says there have been defectors from both parties this cycle. Corporate politicians, in my opinion, cause when things don't make sense. The simple. Okay, look. Can you name me one prominent Democrat that has come out and said they will not be voting for Harris, and they will in fact be voting for Donald Trump? Can you name me one prominent Democrat? And not counting RFK Jr. because I don't know what the fuck he is. I don't think he's a Democrat. He was running as an independent. So don't give me RFK Jr. because he's not really a Democrat. Can you tell me one, like when I say prominent, someone who's like a Liz Cheney or a Dick Cheney or an Adam Kinzinger or the mayor of Mesa, Arizona? Can you give me one Democrat that's of that stature that we would know that has said, I'm not voting for Kamala Harris, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump? Give me one, Chad. One. I'm only asking for one. I just gave you about 4 or 5 off the top of my head. Not to mention at the DNC you had military veterans that were Republicans. You had a contractor, for Christ's sake, who was a Republican, who said he's voting for Kamala Harris. Give me one, Chad. One. Just one. Mountain Bike Fan says, good point. I worked at a 2-story building, and the birds would fly into the windows all the time because they would reflect the scenery outside. Yeah, they can't tell that it's a window. It happens all the time. It happens in houses too. If you have a big sliding glass door to your patio, I've had that happen. James Williams, Kamala is a skilled orator. She is going to strip the flesh off Trump if he is so stupid and he shows up. Mountain Bike Fan says Harris really needs to call out all of Trump's stupid, wrong, so-called policies that really aren't. I guess you could say, okay, here's Donald Trump's policies. Lower tax on the rich, the ultra rich, and the ultra rich corporations. I thought something was falling or something. And let's see. He's proud that he was able to get Roe v. Wade overturned. He's proud of that. He takes credit for that. His policy is to build a wall and make Mexico pay for it. He did neither. He had 4 years to do that. He did neither. What else are his policies? Strip away EPA regulations so that I guess coal mines and can dump their coal ash into drinking reservoirs, water sources that are used for human consumption. I guess those are his policies. Tulsi, Chad. Okay, Mike, I said RFK doesn't count, RFK Jr., because he was an independent. Okay, so Tulsi Gabbard. That's your pick. Okay, you got me. Okay, she was a Democrat, apparently, in Hawaii, right? Okay, so you got Tulsi. You can have her, by the way. No one wants her. No one in the Democratic Party wants that bitch. Alvarado, Senator Claghorn, Jubilation T. Cornpone. I don't know what the fuck that is. Nathan, a real Democrat. No, maybe Joe Manchin. Has Joe Manchin said he's voting for Trump? Chad Bostic, Amber Rose. Who the fuck is Amber Rose? I don't even know who Amber Rose is. You're going to have to explain that one. Okay, but as far as Tulsi is concerned, Tulsi is clearly on payroll. I wouldn't be surprised if she's on a Russian payroll. She's definitely sold her soul out. Has she said she's voting for Trump, though, by the way? Has she actually come out and said she's voting for Trump? Again, I don't know who Amber Rose is. J.A. Dickey. RFK Jr., sadly enough, was briefly a Democrat. He is the biggest celebrity who had been a Democrat. But I don't think that's an indication of Democrats leaving the party to vote for Trump. Okay, RFK has been running for president for this whole cycle. So we already knew where he was at. It's not like that's not an indication of Democrats leaving the ship, the sinking ship of the Democratic Party. Same way with Tulsi. She's been out for a long time. She's been on Fox News and she's been on Tucker Carlson. She host guested for on his show before he got kicked off of there. So, we've known about them for a long time. We're seeing Republicans leaving their sinking ship. The Democrats don't have a sinking ship, by the way. I was being tongue-in-cheek. The Republicans do have a sinking ship. And they're jumping off. And we're seeing it almost daily where another Republican comes out and says, I'm not voting for Trump, and I'm supporting Kamala Harris, and I'm voting for Kamala Harris. Okay, you've got two names, Tulsi Gabbard, who left a long time ago, and RFK, who was running for president against, ostensibly against Biden and Trump as an independent. Because that's not an indication that the Democrats are in trouble and they're leaving. Sorry, Chad, but that's ridiculous. That's a false equivalency. That is a total false equivalency. And if you think that somehow it's like a both side thing, both sides are losing support, and that like it's some sort of equal thing, then you truly are delusional. You are truly delusional. Tom Bias, Jim Justice, governor of West Virginia, was elected as a Democrat and switched to Republican. Again, that's not the same thing. That's not the same as what we're talking about. That's not coming out in this election right now and saying you're leaving the party to vote for the other person. Jim Justice did that after he was elected. Okay, that's not even the same thing. And if you guys think that's the same thing, sorry, you guys are delusional. You're missing the point. The point was about the Chad made was that it's that both sides are losing support, and it's an equal thing. It's not. People aren't jumping off the Democratic Party to go vote for Trump. Big Hook, Big Hook. Amber Rose is the only fans Republican who has videos having sex with rap stars. So that was your pick, Chad, as someone who left the Democratic Party, and we're talking about within these last few months. Not talking about Tulsi Gabbard, who left years ago, and RFK, who has not really been a Democrat for years. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about Jim Justice, who years ago switched parties right after he won an election. I'm talking about within these last few months, as we're getting down into this election here, people coming out and saying, I cannot vote for Trump. These are Republicans, hardcore Republicans, dyed in the wool, hardcore Republicans who are coming out and saying, I cannot vote for Trump. And in fact, I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris. It's not, if you think it's the same on both sides, I'm sorry, you are terribly delusional. Chad Boswick, there are tech Democrats endorsing Trump this year as well. I'm just saying there are defectors on both sides. What the fuck is a tech Democrat? Who the fuck is a tech Democrat? Could you be a little more vague, please? I'm just skipping down. I'm kind of reading chats, but I'm just kind of skipping down and trying to get caught up a little bit because I am going to be ending the show here in a few minutes. So let's see here. But anyhow, I'll take your Tulsi Gabbard and RFK and Amber Rose, and I'll raise you a Liz and Dick Cheney. I mean, it doesn't get much bigger than Dick Cheney. Richard, I hope Trump ends up in prison and the enemy says, yeah, Richard, you say that every single show, by the way. I've seen every single live stream I've done for the last few weeks. It's almost like you have that queued up, ready to go. And your wish just may come true, Richard. Don't lose hope. It just may come true in November when he gets sentenced and he gets hauled off to jail right then and there, because I think they have to do that. If he gets sentenced and he's in the courtroom and he hasn't fled yet, they do need to lock him up because he is definitely a flight risk. So they definitely need to cuff him and haul his ass to prison right there on the spot. So Richard, I think your hope and dream there might come true. Nathan Hawk, Elon Musk. When was Elon Musk ever a Democrat? I mean, do we know his political affiliation? He's a fucking South African, for one thing. Do we know that he was a Democrat? I don't know. I don't know that. I know he's a piece of shit, but I don't know. J.A. Dickey to the wire. Nathan Hawk. They think the next X platform, formerly known as Twitter, will win. Jeff Curry parade in town this morning. One convertible, a guy wearing a Trump mask. I think he saw me giving him the finger. That's funny. Chad Bostic, David Sachs. Okay, are these supposed to be people that we know? I'm talking about everyone knows who Dick Cheney is. Everyone knows who Liz Cheney is. I don't know who the fuck David Sachs is, okay? And I don't even know if he was ever a Democrat. You might as well just say Joe Blow. I don't know. Chad Bostic, Peter Thiel. I don't know. Was he a Democrat? I don't know what the fuck he is. How do you know these are Democrats or former Democrats? I know that Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney were Republicans. I know that. I don't know what the fuck Peter Thiel was or is. What I'm saying, Chad, is I think you're living in a delusional world. If you think that it's an equal thing, that Democrats are losing support at the same rate that Republicans are, I think you're living in a little fantasy world there. Hey, Julie says, Trucker John has channel memberships. Yes, I do. We got super chats. You can also support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing. So please do so. Help support the show. Or you can buy me a coffee over there, buymeacoffee.com/JR Fowler T, I guess. J.A. Dickey's, the guy who hired J.D. Vance was libertarian and or robber baron at the time. You talking about Peter Thiel? I don't know if he was ever a Democrat. And if he switched over, it was probably years ago. I'm not talking about years ago. I'm talking about right now in this cycle here, as we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, as we're getting closer and closer to the election, the Republicans are jumping out of their sinking ship and saying, I can't vote for this guy because he is a detriment to this country. And they at least, as much as we can disagree with Liz and Dick Cheney, I guess the one thing we have in common is we don't want to see America get destroyed. We don't want to see democracy get destroyed. We don't want to see the Constitution get tore up. Those are the things that we do share with them. Nathan Hawk, Trucker John, you are great. And if you ever want to get your post read out loud, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to say. Tim Farrell, John, or you're getting cranky. Yes, I need some toast. I need a bit of toast, yeah. Feel better already. Mr. Spock, seems logical to build a space elevator instead of trying to go to Mars. Oh man, I was going to shoot some footage last night and I didn't do it. I was charging up at a charging station in Las Vegas, and it's right by the convention center, and they're building these tunnels. They're the Elon Musk, his boring company. They're building these tunnels all over, and right next to this charging station, you can see the tunnels that they're building. You can actually see part of it. And I should have shot some video, because I bet you tonight when I go down there, it might be all covered up. I wish I would have shot video of it, because it was very interesting to see them build. I think it's going to be one of their entry or exit points. So as much as I hate Elon Musk, I mean, he does have some interesting technology going on. Richard, I like the way Trucker John doesn't hold back on the F word. Some people, it's funny, I might go a long, long time without saying it, and people will actually go in the chat, Trucker John he never cusses, does he? And then all of a sudden it's like, ugh. The floodgates open. Anyhow, Mountain Bike Fan says, I do wonder if voters are falling for the lie that President Biden's policies is the cause for inflation. And now the Republicans use how it's been 3 years. Why hasn't anything gone back down in price? Well, that's part of that whole doppelganger thing. That's the whole Russia influence campaign. Chad Bostic, here are some politicians: Vernon Jones, Jeff Van Drew, David Clark, Andrew Stein, Brandon Straka. Oh yeah, those are household names there, by golly. Never heard of one of them. You might as well just be saying Lucy from Peanuts. Well, I do know her though. That's a bad example. You might as well. I don't know. Who the fuck are they? Suzanne for is here. Jeff Curry, make me laugh, please. Make me laugh. Make me laugh. Did someone come in that I didn't see? Oh, Barnaby Jones and Danger Dog. Till is a fanatical libertarian, not a dim, never has been a dim. Thank you, Barnaby George, for that input, and thanks for being here. I didn't see you earlier, so I just want to say welcome to the old driver's lounge. Thanks for that. Chad, what are you going to do when George W. Bush comes out and says he's not voting for Trump and he's going to vote for Kamala Harris? I bet you will fucking... Your head just might explode. So be careful. Just prepare yourself for that. So hopefully you don't have a head explosion. We don't want your head to explode. But see, I can pull out... Well, right now I can't do Bush because he hasn't done it yet. But, you know, we got Dick Cheney, for God's sakes. So it's kind of logical that George W. Bush should be doing it any day now. What are you going to do then, Chad? You're going to say, well, there's Vicky Morgan. Vicky Morgan, she did. Who the fuck is Vicky Morgan? You know, I don't know. Whoever Vicky Morgan is, she's not going to be on the same status as fucking George W. Bush. Now, I realize he hasn't done that, and he may not, but Dick Cheney, for God's sakes. Suzanne, greetings and salutations, everyone. Good to see you, Suzanne. Thanks for being here. Mountain bike. I've been curious about those charging stations. Do you use your credit card and get your vehicle fully charged? How much do you pay? Well, see, I'm renting the vehicle for Uber purposes through Uber, through Hertz and everything. So I have an account. So whenever I charge up, it just goes onto my account and they bill me later, right? Oh, excuse me. But it's the same thing if you were you just were an owner, a Tesla owner, you would have to set up an account with them, and so that every time you plugged in, it would just automatically like debit your account. Now it's different prices, different places, and they charge by kilowatt hour. And I'm not, I don't know how to explain it, but all I know is that here in Las Vegas, if I go after midnight, which is like a low time, it's off peak hours. For me to get a full charge, let's say from 30% to 95% or 100%, it would be probably like $10 or something. If I were to do that same thing in the afternoon during peak hours, it might be $25, or something. So. But the prices have been edging up, I've noticed. And at those superchargers, Tesla controls those prices, I think. And so your best bet is if you had one and if you have like a garage or your own house, and your best bet is to get a home charger and just charge at night during off-peak hours, and you can charge it up. It's a slower charge, but by the time you wake up in the morning, you'll have a full charge. And I bet you it might cost you $1 or something. I don't even know, but I probably shouldn't be saying prices because it is kind of different in different parts of the country, whatever your rates are. But it'd be very, very inexpensive. If you're at a supercharger, like I say, like where I'm at, it's anywhere from, depending on how much you get, how much of a charge you're getting, it's $7 and $8, $10, $12 during the day, $15, $20. But in other parts of the country, I've heard it's even way more than that. So it just depends on where you live and what the rates are, and then how much Tesla's being charged, and then Tesla's going to put something on top of that, I guess. But anyhow, I don't know if that cleared anything up or not, but probably made it even more confusing. Chad, it's not whether it would bother you. Chad says it wouldn't bother me. My point is that you're acting like these weird fucking names you're bringing up are somehow as important as a Dick or Liz Cheney, and they're not. And that somehow it's like this equal. There's an equal defections going on, and I don't believe it is. Mike H., don't go hunting with Dick Cheney. He'll shoot your face off, man. He'll shoot your face right the fuck off, man. Don't do it. Yeah, hell of a guy, huh? Dick Cheney's like, I'm sorry I shot your face off, dude. Yeah, Mr. Spock says, I like VPs who don't shoot people in the face. For a lot of the right-wingers, that probably earned him some points there. You know what I mean? You know, Elmo? Do you know what I mean? Mountain Bike Fan says, someone said they used their laundry hookup to use higher voltage. It has to charge faster. Yeah, for those level 2 home chargers, I think you have to use a 220 outlet. But don't quote me on that. You know, 220, 225, you know. Let's see. James Williams says, none of the people that I know that voted for Trump have ever had any self-respect, loudmouth, racist garbage to a man. Nathan Hawk, Project 2025 is crap. It is. MJ Danny, you can charge a phone by just setting it on a charging pad now, right? I look for a time when they put things like that in parking lots. Yeah, and they're working on that. They're working on stuff like that, and I've even heard that they do have the big charging pads that you can put in your garage, but I'm not sure what happened to that, if those have actually been sold or not. But yeah, all that stuff, the technology is going to just keep getting better and better and better all the way around on that. All around, Chad says no one under 30 knows who Dick Cheney is. Well, you know, that's a pretty broad statement. I mean, whatever, dude. It's still a big deal for all of us over 30s. It's a big deal. There's a lot of us. Nick Rich, the maggots are nervous. They know that Don Old is going to fall flat on his flabby ass Tuesday night. Sorry about that coughing. Tom Bias, I'm out. Marshall game is on. Let's go herd. We are Marshall. All right, Tom. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna end the show here any minute now. Look, it's wow. 2 hours and 38 minutes. I just looked at the clock. It seems like it was like an hour and 57 minutes. Where does the time go? You guys keep dropping such great comments here. It just keeps me going. Jeff Curry says, mountain bike, told wife to turn 220 breaker off. I hooked up air unit, went to turn breaker back on. She had turned off the wrong one. Guess I was too stupid to get shocked. I turned unit on and it worked. Richard, I had no prior knowledge of Watergate. Well, you know, it's in the history books. It's in the mystery book. It's in the mystery book. It's in the history books. The history mystery. Did I talk to you okay? Are you talking to me? I have some sort of cold. I'm blaming my stupid passengers, and I think I'm gonna start wearing a mask in the car because they keep getting me sick, and I'm sick and tired of people getting me sick. J.A. Dickey, Liz Cheney is no Princess Leia. I'm going to go on record as saying that. She's no Princess Leia. I don't know. You know, I know the whole Darth Vader thing, but the The analogy falls apart right there. All right, guys. So we are about the end of it. We got college football going. We got pro football is in full swing here. Go Rams! We're going to beat those Lions tomorrow night. And we got baseball in full swing. Go Dodgers! All that good stuff. All the real good idea to wear a mask is save your life too. Plus, I'm fully vaxxed and fully boosted. I'm not getting COVID anytime soon. I'm just getting stupid colds from stupid people who come to Las Vegas and drive Ubers who are obviously sick. I hear them in the back seat coughing their lungs out, and then all of a sudden I've got a runny nose. I know what they're doing. They're trying to get Trucker John sick. It's a conspiracy, I tell you. It's a conspiracy. Jeff Curry, NASCAR's on too. Yeah, you got NASCAR, we got all that good stuff. Richard, Sandy Kovacs, Don Drysdale. Yes, they were a great duo. A great duo. Pitching duo. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you like, subscribe to the show. Let's keep the show going. If for no other reason, then I can get my jollies telling Mike H., otherwise known as Joel, I can tell him off every now and then. And I can tell Chad, who's a nice guy, I can kind of tell him off a little bit. I get my jollies. I'm getting my jollies. And for no other reason, just keep that going. But no, and interacting with you guys, and you guys are really great. I think this is probably the best chat room, best that I've ever seen. I mean, you guys are awesome. Even Chad's awesome. But all you guys are all awesome. And I got a great mod and Jolie. She's really helping me out a lot. But remember, there's the schedule. Let's see, what arm am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to do... Wait, is it this one? This one. Yeah, this one here. There's my schedule. And so commit that to memory. If you can write it down on a piece of paper, on a pad, or take a screenshot, or just commit it to memory. Tuesday, Thursdays, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. I'll see you guys then. At some point, I might do more shows. I might go Monday through Friday. I was thinking about maybe doing a members only for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe just an hour of members only. Let me go. If you guys think that's a good idea, let me know. Because I've been thinking about what could I do for like the members, do something a little extra, something that's just for the members. Maybe we can do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe an hour show. Maybe I know if I do the lead in to Hal, then we're going on the same time as Johnny Million, and there's some other shows that are on. But I don't know if I try to tiptoe my way around all these shows, then we'll never figure out a time. But let me know what you guys think. If I should do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe a members only thing for like an hour. Maybe we'll do it either right after Hal's morning show or maybe right before his afternoon show. I don't know. I'm sort of thinking. I'm spitballing here. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. If that's a good idea or a bad idea or whatever. But in the meantime, let's see. This is still the main times here. So yeah, that's great. If you guys can give me a little feedback on that. And hey, there's Joe Obama Kalama about 2K says Rick's mom does members only. I don't know who Rick's mom is, but okay. But Joe, thanks for being here, by the way. Thanks for joining us in the chat room. Nick Rich, how about something early? Guys, the 9 a.m., I barely make it. I barely made it for today's 11 a.m., so I don't know. I'm not really an early person, especially since I'm out Ubering, and a lot of times I don't get home until 2 or 3 in the morning. And So an earlier, I guess I could just do a show when I get home at 3 a.m. Pacific time. I could do that maybe. I don't know. I don't know, man. But thanks for the, I did ask you to give me your suggestions, so thanks for that suggestion. Yeah, what if I did a Trucker John at 3 a.m. Pacific time? That would be 6 a.m. for you guys back east, and God knows what time in England. But I don't know. I don't think I'd be up for it, because when I get home, I'm really like, I just want to, I get in bed, have a gummy. Well, I've only done that twice, but and maybe I'll watch a Netflix show. Hey, speaking of Netflix shows, I just watched Chaos. Have you guys heard of that? I think it's 8 episodes. I just finished it up in like 3 days. I was watching a few shows every day, and I thought it was pretty interesting. It's an interesting take on like the Greek gods of Zeus and all that, and it's kind of interesting. So, I watched that. That's what I was watching. Now I finished that. Now I gotta go. Well, now the Lord of the Rings thing is coming back. Season 2 of that, the Rings of Power. So anyhow, so that's what I do. I usually come home, I'll watch an episode of something, and then I go to sleep. So I don't think I'll be doing a 3 a.m. Trucker John show. And believe me, 9 a.m. is like kind of pushing it. So as far as earliness for me. Jolie says, I think you should all write Trucker John's schedule exactly like John has his and hang it on your wall. So I think so too, Jolie. That's a great idea. Get yourself some sort of a manila envelope or a folder, and get yourself a nice big thick black Sharpie, and then make yourself a little sign. There you go. That's a great suggestion. All right, guys. I'm going to hit the road. Well, I am going to hit the road. I'm going to be out Ubering today in a little bit. But, I'm going to get some breakfast besides just toast and all that good stuff. So I'll see you guys. But for sure, I'll see you guys Monday. I mean, not Monday. Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And we'll talk about the debate. Because the debate, we will talk about the debate probably at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I don't think I'm going to do any special show for that. I'll probably be out Ubering or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll see you guys 9 a.m. Pacific time. We'll talk about the debate. We'll talk about it. Whatever you guys want to talk about. We'll just let it fly. We'll just see what happens. We'll just see what happens. All right, guys. So with that, I'm going to shut this mic down, and also, I'm going to do some stretching, because I don't want to pull a hammy.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully. Nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about gold chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you, baby, to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant. But I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should've stopped a truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream, this is where we win, right here on the Trucker John kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this